Hi everyone and welcome. If you are watching this video, we are so excited to have you. My name is Jess Tomlinson, your Radiant Self-Care Coach, and we have something really special for you today. I'm here with a couple of the amazing women who are joining me for the Radiance Recharge, which is my Bali retreat that is coming up. And it's just so great to have them on this call and like taking a moment, just soaking it all in, because you may have been in a place that they were in before they reached out to me. And so a couple of the women just totally inspired me, and they were reaching out to their friends and saying, I know how much we need this as women. We need a getaway. We need a retreat. We need to recharge. And reaching out is part of the sisterhood. It's more than I can accomplish. So I'm so excited to have Larissa and Jennifer here, who are going on the Radiance Recharge, just to share with you guys a little bit of their heart, a little bit of why they took the big step to reach out to me. We were just chatting before we pressed record on this video that, sometimes it can be hard to take that step, and we might be in a tender place or going through some rough things, but maybe you've been watching and been seeing all this excitement about Bali, and so we're really just hoping that you openly listen to Jennifer and Larissa's perspective and story, and maybe just within your heart it creates some inspiration. So that's really our intention for this quick video. We're not going to take much of your time, but welcome if you are watching it. So we're just going to jump right in. Jen, we're going to have you go first. Would you like to share with any of the ladies who are watching this just maybe a little bit of why you reached out to go to Bali, and anything else that you think maybe ladies who are on kind of the verge of like going back and forth, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, anything that you might want them to know?
Sure, I would love to. Hello, radiant ladies out there. I have to be very honest and say, originally the Bali trip was not on my radar whatsoever for this year. I had originally spoken to Jess, gathering information for a friend who had asked me to, who was interested. So what's interesting is when she shared the news with me, it sounded so very appealing. And then a few weeks after we initially spoke and I knew about the retreat, I just had some very tough weeks. It was back in December, actually, where I really identified that there needed to be some sort of change. I really needed to do something for myself. It's really hard for me to say that because it sounds selfish, but if I didn't do something pretty drastic for myself and to help my own self-care, things were not going to be looking good for me. I have a history of ending up with injuries, sickness, and I've just been on a journey this last few years and getting into a more mindful practice about myself. So Jess and I had the call in December right after I was coming out of these few rough weeks, and I can just say she is an amazing leader, an amazing supporter, and really led me through the process in getting to that point of realizing that I needed support, I needed assistance, and I needed to get away. And I have a lot of old issues from things I've been with, to be very vulnerable and transparent with you all around financial things. I was in a lot of debt a few years ago, so I've since gotten out of that, but it's a big trigger for me, finances. So we went through the whole call. I knew deep in my soul and my greater heart's purpose that I wanted to and was supposed to be going to Bali. What's interesting, when we came up on the financials of a course, a trip will cost money to be able to travel to go to this amazing journey we're going to be taking, I was completely triggered by all my past stuff. And what I really found out is I said, you know what, give me 24 hours. I just need a little time, but I'm going to figure this out. And I really had to examine the difference between what my mind and all the chatter was saying
Mm.
and what was really in my heart and what I really believed I truly needed, and that this trip was going to be life-changing for me. Um, and so, with complete trust, called Jess back, worked things out, and said yes. And at that very moment, back in December now, many months ago, it just felt so good. It was like, I've constantly been releasing my past and all those hard times I went through around the finances. But it was another just shedding. And I can honestly say, since I've said yes, in the last few months, there's been a number of things that have triggered releases, and how I'm just viewed is it's all theme. And I know I'm going to be on this week. My company is announcing we're going to be bought out by someone else by the end of this year. So there's just a lot of changes and transitions happening in my life and all around me. So that's a very long way of saying I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and it couldn't come at a better time. And I just had no way of knowing back in December when I said yes, what I was really saying yes to. I mean, it's definitely, there's something bigger than me. There's something bigger going on here. So I have complete trust in the process. I'm very excited about it. At this point, my goal is, I just need to get to Bali, and I will be on that plane. I don't have a lot of time to plan before then, but that is the goal, and I'm going to get there and be present, and it's going to be such a beautiful gift to myself. So, thank you.
Yeah. Wow. A beautiful
I love
gift
that.
to yourself. Wow, Jen, I just want to honor you for sharing so vulnerably that, wow, that's really beautiful. Is there anything, maybe in just one sentence, that you might want to say to a woman who's kind of been feeling called to go to Bali but hasn't taken this step yet to reach out?
I would just say to really listen to your heart and reach out to Jess for a phone call, regardless if there's voices in your head going, how am I going to afford it, or I don't deserve this. It's just a really beautiful process, even to just have that call and be supported in that way. And I think that can provide, huge support and opportunity. So I would just encourage anyone who's out there who's feeling any sort of if there's a little flutter in your stomach going on right now, or if anything resonated with you, to embrace your feelings, embrace that fear, that flutter, whatever it may be, and just schedule a call and just explore, have fun with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you. I think that's going to help a lot of women's hearts that are listening. All right. So Jen was way back in December, signed up, was the first actually to enroll to come to Bali right before Christmas. We joked that it was a Christmas present for her. And Larissa is actually the most recent woman to join our sisterhood. So Larissa, would you like to share from your perspective a little bit about why you reached out, why you took the leap, and then what you might say for any women who are feeling called to join as well?
Sure. I hope I don't get emotional, so if I do, sorry.
Okay.
But I've been seeing this, the whole Bali thing last year when you first put it out, and it seemed very enticing. At the time, I wasn't sure what to think about it, really. I mean, except that it sounded interesting, intriguing to me. I just didn't think it fit into my world at the moment in time. I did feel like, I guess to back up a little bit, I was in a long-term relationship. With that, I had a son. And I think that pretty much just broke me in a million pieces, I think. And since then, I just been in a weird place. And I finally, like last year, was able to somewhat be at somewhat of peace, I guess you can say. And then I met, I was on a trip in Vegas. I came back and I met this guy, and it was very kind of serendipity a little bit, and had kind of realization of what I wanted in a man and that sort of thing. And because I have a good job and I have a son, but I was ready to actually step back into a relationship. And then a month later, I found this guy, dating this guy. We had a little, pretty much up until a couple weeks ago, it's been a real emotional roller coaster, more or less. But yet I still had these, I don't know, these weird, I felt like in a weird place, and I couldn't really put my finger on what it was, to be honest. It was a mixture of just my job, just not feeling happy with it necessarily. My heart just wasn't in it. So I had different elements, but just felt kind of just in a weird place. And then just recently, things kind of went more south with my relationship with the new guy, and so an opportunity opened up, and then I reached out to Jessica, and more or less just something came over me to ask about it, inquired, and then I didn't know what to expect from it. So when we had the conversation, I was just taken back by some of the questions she asked me. And they initially became very generic, and then when she kind of pulled more information out of it, I just started kind of discovering more things of myself that I was realizing that I needed in my life, that I was missing, in regards to just feeling like I wasn't happy. I wasn't satisfied. And then again, the whole conversation about the whole how much is it going to cost came into play, and I'm like, I don't know, that's a big chunk, and so of course that had me halted a little bit. And so I did the whole 24-hour thing as well, and then we talked again, and yet I was telling people about this. I was like, I just can't do it. It's just way too much money. And I literally, when you called me, I literally just was going to decline it, or I did. I think I said I can't go. And so you had asked me why, and then a part of me had no idea why, although this current relationship was pretty much at an end. I was still yet worried about what he would have thought of me going. And then you questioned me in regards to, well, is that the person you really want to be with, if that's the case? Do you really want someone who's not going to support you? And then in relation to that was also the whole financial aspect of that. And we kept going back and forth with that whole thing. And I don't know, something was just screaming in my heart, was just saying, do it, do it, do it. And I was really at a battle, just going back and forth. And then I just started crying and becoming so emotional. And my friend, I was telling her about this maybe a week ago about it, or shortly after we spoke. And she said, if you really wanted to do it, you can make it happen, And those words just resonated in my head, I was like, that's, you're right, like I felt like I put so much into people. I'm a people person, and I love to take care of people. I have a son. The recent ex, he was in a bad car accident, so I pretty much nursed him back to health for like 4 or 5 months, so I felt like I gave so much of myself, and I feel like I've never really truly, sorry, I'm getting emotional, took time for myself, I guess, or made a decision for myself. And so in doing so, I decided, like I was crying for a reason, and so maybe this is the reason, like maybe I should listen to my heart. And on top of my friend resonating, or having those words resonate in my head, I was thinking about back in after college, or my first year in college, I was dating this guy, and he used to always tell me, stop thinking with your head and start feeling with your heart. And sometimes I struggle with that, of trying to think what's logical versus what I really truly feel, and not having to think about it, And so with that said, I decided to take a leap and actually just to do it, I was like, forget it, I'm just going to do it, and it felt really good doing it. It was scary, but it felt really good doing it, because I felt like for the first time I truly felt as if I was making a decision for myself and not having to get that approval from somebody else, And it's just a good reminder because even the current relationship, he jumped into our relationship with such intense emotions and feelings and that sort of thing, and I was really guarded at that time. And I remember him saying to me, if why, if you feel something, why create hurdles around it? If you truly feel like it's right. And that's how I felt about this whole Bali thing too. I felt like in my heart it was right, but I wasn't. I was just, making excuses and battling with my heart, my mind, more or less. So.
Yeah. Wow. Huh, I'm just in awe of both of you. Your shares are like so vulnerable. I was not expecting that. That's so amazing for you. What a beautiful gift that you've given to these women listening. Thank you both, Larissa and Jen. Thank you. All right, so ladies, I hope that if anything, you've been inspired by these two beautiful, amazing, vulnerable women. And you know what? If you're feeling called, like they're saying, it can be scary, but there's also another side to that where if you listen to your heart and you're feeling like Bali is right for you, maybe reach out to me, and you can just directly email me, email me. Um, email yourself. And my email is jessica@jessicatomlinson.com. And you can also find that email if you're unsure how to spell it over at my website, jesstomlinson.com/Bali. So, all right, we are so happy that you joined us. Please go and have a beautiful self-care day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
Bye.